want to take you back to a couple of months ago when I did a video about a store that was deemed racist for sticking up for themselves and making sure that a bunch of black individuals did not rob them. And then a college got involved and promoted the fact that they were going to stand up against a store that's defending themselves against a bunch of thieves, and they got called racist for that. And then they sued, and then they won the lawsuit, and now that college owes a bunch of money.
Well, today, a Lorain County judge reduced the amount awarded to Oberlin's Gibson's Bakery. A jury originally ordered Oberlin College to pay the bakery $44 million. Now the family will receive $25 million because of a state cap on punitive damages. The family accused the college of racist labels and ruining their livelihood by encouraging protests. Now, this case dates back to November 2016 when 3 black students were arrested for assaulting the owner, David Gibson's son, Alan, who is white, after he caught one of those students shoplifting. Protests ensued over accusations of racial profiling. The current president of Oberlin College and her attorney joined us tonight at 7.
But I do think that this is really about the speech of students and whether a college should be held responsible for the speech of students. And there's oftentimes speech that's permissible speech, First Amendment speech that we allow folks to make. But this is also about a claim that this was impermissible speech. But fundamentally, did the college make it? Did the college produce the flyer? Did the college produce the Senate resolution? And the answer to that is no. And that's why it can have a chilling effect on speech, because what we would have to do to constrain students and faculty and staff, just in case we might be liable for that speech, will be constraining people's First Amendment rights.
Well, lawyers for Gibson's Bakery released a statement today saying Oberlin College, quote, was never on trial for the free speech of its students. Instead, the jury unanimously determined that Oberlin College libeled the Gibsons. Despite what spin the college places on the facts of this case, libelous statements have never enjoyed protections under the First Amendment, end quote.
Well, you'll be delighted to know that that school is not paying any of that money. Oberlin College facing $4 million in interest after not paying bakery they defamed as racist. In 2016, 3 black Oberlin College students were caught trying to shoplift from Gibson's Bakery. When the bakery owners sought justice, they were hit with boycotts and protesters calling them racist. The bakery filed and won a defamation suit against Oberlin College in 2019. However, the school has not yet paid up. As a result, they've accumulated over $4 million in interest on top of the more than $30 million owed in the original settlement. According to the local outlet The Chronicle, Oberlin College was ordered to pay the interest in June, but has since appealed the case in the Ohio Supreme Court. Even if the appeal is unsuccessful, however, the bakery will still receive its money via an appeal bond obtained by the school from the Zurich American Insurance Company. Gibson's Bakery has suffered in the years since they were accused of being racist. Even after the students at the center of the controversy pleaded guilty, the business continued to face boycotts and protests. And quick little side note, I don't know what's going on with activists and how much they get information, but if you have students who are sharing the same college classroom and dorms as you, doing a wrong like stealing liquor from a store, I wouldn't stick up for them. I would stick up for the store that they stole from. Why? Because they stole from there, and actions have consequences. And I don't know why a bunch of wannabe heroes think it's okay to label people as racist for defending their store from random shoplifters. I don't know what makes that racist. I don't know how could anybody see that as racism, but you know, activists gotta activism. Media coverage does help, however. As the Chronicle reports, whenever the bakery appears in the news, a brief uptick in orders ensues. According to the Daily Mail, they have had to cut down from over 10 workers to just 4. The Gibsons are understandably concerned, said attorney Lee Placas. They are very disappointed that the college to this date, even with this record and mountain of evidence that they were wrong, is acting this way. In the years since the settlement was first ordered to be paid, the baker's father-son duo, Alan and David Gibson, have passed away. The court proceedings impacted the health of both Gibsons, the younger of which was later revealed to have been suffering from pancreatic cancer. Oberlin College, a notably progressive institution, has refused to apologize for the conduct of its staff, namely former Dean of Students Meredith Raimondo, who handed out flyers to protesters and pushed the claim that that the bakery had acted in a racist fashion. And I want to hammer that point home because I believe it was somebody who went on TV and said nobody took part in this that was a part of the staff. No staff member was taking part in any of this. And I find that to be hilarious because that's actually the contrary. And it makes it worse that somebody who was on the staff was perpetuating bullshit to a bunch of students to go harass people in a store that did nothing wrong, and the only sin that they had was sticking up for themselves because people decided to steal from them.
Were there any professors or administrators participating in the protest, though? There have been reports that there were.
Right. So one of the things I think is interesting about this debate is when do people get a chance to exercise their own First Amendment rights, and when are they representing the institution? And so there was one administrator there who was representing the institution, and the student handbook requires her to be there, the dean of students. And so she was there to ensure that the protest was lawful and was safe, and was saying to students, you can't stand here, you can't stand there. And some people have perceived that as being a part of the protest.
I don't know what makes it weirder. The fact that a bunch of people believed the lie that it's racist to stop a bunch of people from stealing from a store, or the fact that people who are a part of the staff perpetuated that lie, or the fact that they got caught in this lie and have refused to suffer the consequences of what it means to just blindly believe a bunch of people in their sob story. Even if you want to sit here and say, oh, well, it's really something of the matter of you can't just be jumping to conclusions. The people who stole from the store admitted they stole from the store. So at that point, any hot take an activist has goes out the damn window. So at the end of the day, you could hoot, you can holler, you could scream, you could shout. It's not racist to defend any of your store property. It's not racist to defend any of your own personal property. It is your property. Defend it if you must. If you choose to let it go because you don't want to run the risk, that's perfectly fine. However, don't sit here and label a bunch of random people racist because they're saying, hey, people that are stealing from me, you're going to stop doing that. So I'm glad this school is constantly suffering. They're going to have to pay this. I hope they pay this. I hope that bakery gets all that money because that's what's supposed to happen when you follow dumb activism and don't get any more information and don't do any more research. So glad you're suffering, glad you owe that money, and I hope everybody that's taking part in that, with exception to that bakery, is embarrassed because that's what happens when you're a dumbass. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye. You mad? Rhinoceros. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. No rinky-dinky doll, no stinky tinker toy. I want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. I can see me shit on Christmas morning, fiending down the stairs.